I just wanted to make a recording sharing my progress on this image from Kerby Rosanes' Colormorphia, which is a compilation of designs from other illustrations from other books. I'm not sure what book this originally comes from, but it is in this one. Um, and I'm doing this as a part of the One Color Challenge. I'm not sure yet what the color is for this month. I suspect it is green. So I happened to have a live the other day or yesterday um, that where I talked about this picture and I actually showed this picture uncolored. And sometime after that live, I actually just started coloring in it. And so I wanted to share what I did so far. I used these the King Art gel sticks, and I started on this side. There was something funky that was happening over here, and so I wound up also adding this to take out some of the yellow that was showing up in there. I wasn't sure where the yellow was coming from. Maybe it was from my blending brush, so I got rid of the yellow by putting some purple down. Um, but I used the metallic green, mint, and metallic blue. Let's say metallic blue. Yeah, metallic blue. Yeah, that's all it says. Metallic blue. Um, so that's how I started putting with this. I put it down. I worked on this side first, then I worked on that side. I did the green up here, then I did the blue, then I did I think I actually did the blue over here. Then I did the green up here. Something else that I did, I went I just was kind of like, let's see what happens. And I used this Sioux Color water-based marker. It has a paint brush tip. And I did this underneath here. And I did some outlining. I did some outlining there. I don't necessarily like that outlining, but I'm going over here, but I'm going to make it work for me. I did some outlining in here. These are places that were already dark on the image. Like this was actually black. And these images on top were white. And initially I was trying to color around them, and then I says, why bother? And so I just colored over them. And I actually like how it looks once I added more things to this. I like how these look blue, actually, which is interesting. Um, and let's see, after that, I think I actually went in with this green, um, which I thought was going to be more sea green, but it wasn't. It didn't go down that way. But I started doing that in here, and I'm actually not that mad at it. I actually kind of like it. And I did some outlining like on the edges of his upper lip. And I'm thinking I actually may expand that and do it some other places. Um, but I had stopped when I did this because I'm like, wow, that's green green. I don't know if I should do any more of that. But when I added the next thing, which was, is it on there? I used a Posca marker. I can't see it right now. Obviously, you can kind of tell that. I used a Posca marker and I started doing these lines. And then I just started outlining. Wherever there was a black line, I just went over it. I don't know why. I just felt like I wanted to do that, and I like the look of that. Actually, um, so I followed the lines that Kerby had here, and I just went over them with the Posca pen, the Posca marker, and then after that, the last thing I did was I went in with dark gray, light gray, and black. I don't even know if this is light gray precisely. It's kind of light blue. Does it have a color on it? Pale blue, yeah. Um, so dark gray and pale blue and black. And that's when I went in and I started shading and outlining and just covering up what was underneath there, because he has like a lot of hash marks that are under here. I'm trying to get a little closer. There's a lot of hash marks that are under there. And I kind of was thinking, well, what do I do with those? And so I just decided to cover them up. And the pencil that seemed to be working for this, I didn't think the Faber-Castells would work too good with that. Yeah, I didn't think they'd work too good with that, because I actually have the whole whale covered with the gel stick, and they're easy to color over. But the Faber-Castell Black Edition pencils, they weren't really doing anything. So that's when I used the Caran d'Ache, which I always have near me. So it's kind of like that's why I went for them. And I did that. I started outlining the lines with black to give it, like some depth. And also, it just felt good to do that. And then I went in with the gray, and then I tried to, well, let's make the closer underneath the belly darker, and then get lighter up here. So I started trying to do that while also trying to cover up the hash marks a little bit. They're actually kind of covered a lot, but they see through a little bit, which I like. I think that's a good effect. So I'm not going to try to cover them up completely. I kind of want some of those to still be there. Yeah. So after I did that, I had to figure out, okay, well, what am I doing with the rest of the whale? And because this also was full of hash marks, and it just had this pale green on top of it. It actually had the non-metallic mint green on top. And so I thought, well, if the color for the month is going to be green, I'm going to color this green. And so I did. Um, and I used the sea green in the Caran d'Ache pencils. And I don't know, it's possible I may open up my Prismacolors. They're actually right beside me, but I got to open up the holder and put it on my desk. And me and my desk, I got enough stuff up here. But I may open up my Prismacolors and look for more colors in the pale greens to put on here, but to see if they have any that are close to this. But yeah, so that's where I am so far. I don't know what I'm doing with this part. I think if I could find like a darker pale green that would fit this, I would probably put that in here. So that's why I guess I'm thinking of looking through my Prismacolors to see what I have. Yeah. So that's where I went from like a thought. I've been looking at this picture all last week. It's been one of those where it's like, I'm never coloring that. That I've always thought since I first got the book, like, I don't like that. I don't think I'll be coloring that. And then it went to, I'm never coloring that, kind of. Never. Like, just not going there. To, like, you know what? I want to finish this book. How can I color this image? And I kept looking at, flipping the pages, and then stopping at this one and thinking about it. And then it just finally kind of came together last night, in part after having a conversation in my live with some folks. Um, so yeah, so we'll just see what happens. And I think part of the problem with starting and finishing coloring pages is the fear that you're going to ruin it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to ruin the page. Well, like, even if you did ruin it, so what? If you do something that like really looks bad, then the next challenge is to try to fix what you did that you don't like. And you always learn something out of that. I do. I always learn something out of it. So at a time where I need coloring as a meditative practice, it seems like these things are working for me, because all of a sudden I busted out with this last night, and I was supposed to be done with coloring for the day, but like I just was like, boom, let's do this. And I'm getting better at laying down the gel sticks, which, like, even a simpleton can, but like it takes me a while to get the hang of things. And or feel like I've gotten the hang of things. I have to do a little more coverage on this other side of the blue, but um yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. And I figure, what better way to try to get the hang of it than a page that you kind of thought like you wouldn't color on. And also, using those gel sticks is useful on this page because this image is massive. This whale is like massive. So I can get a foundational coverage of him before I go in with pencil, instead of using all pencil. Um, so I thought that was really nice. And I am thinking about the possibility of using more of these markers, water-based markers, um, in addition to acrylic markers in here. So, and that's been another thing that was my challenge with coloring um, in Kerby books and in Johanna Basford books, is the fact that the images are double-sided. Like, there's illustrations on both sides of the page, and there's illustrations on the other side of the page. That meant I couldn't use alcohol markers. I didn't know anything about like putting a base on them yet, either. And so between those two things, that kind of made me cautious about working in both books, because I like the images in both books, but the fact that I can't, um, and they have these massive backgrounds that have to be filled, and you don't really want to use pencil to do it. But if you don't know how to use other mediums, dealing with these backgrounds like is a challenge. So now that I have that, from watching other people, my other coloring friends, what they do, what they have done, how they do it, that has opened up the door for me to um, try other things. So takes me a while, because I can't really sit and watch a whole bunch of videos and then suddenly right after try it. I don't really have time like that. So um yeah. So anyway, blah blah blah, talking too much. Getting ready to start some work. But I thought I would make this video just to share what happened last night. And again, let me see if I can get a picture of the whole picture to end with, kind of, sort of. And already, like, this color is very calming. So I like that too. Okay, so that's it for me. Take care, everybody.